Welcome to the mailbag. This is 105.6 Mailbag FM with Chris Macarthur-Boyd and Frankie Boyle.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard the SS Mailbag. We are responding to mailbag stuff this week. Okay, this one comes from Adam from Yorkshire, living in France. A Yorkshireman in France.
3-part miniseries on ITV this autumn.
You bloody what? Chocolate for breakfast? You're having a laugh. That would be in the trailer. Okay, Dear Guillotine crew. Long-time listener who loves the banter. Especially the guys' video game and Lord of the Rings side rantings. Very much looking forward to the spin-off pod. Here comes the mighty winged helm of Macarthur.
They've added winged.
Yeah.
We've not found the helm yet, but it's not. We've not necessarily winged.
No, I said that. Is it no winged?
Well, it's just here comes the mighty helm of Macarthur.
All right, okay.
You've got to think about meter.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
No, yeah, you're quite right. Very much looking forward to the spin-off pod. The pod regularly keeps me amused on long drives. I always make sure to save up a few when I have a journey coming up. What's your advice on dealing with a sister-in-law
Well, this is taking a sudden turn.
who, whenever she comes to visit, likes to berate me about casual swearing in conversation? I'm very comfortable with casual swearing, and I feel it adds appropriate expression to many conversations. She comes out with statements like, "My grandma would have found your language uncouth. Otherwise enjoy her company, but how should I go about getting her to chill the fuck out?" Yours truly, Adam from Yorkshire, living in France.
Well, I find it hard to sympathise there because swearing, like we all use different registers at different times for when it's appropriate.
Code switching.
I've noticed, you know that thing where you notice wee guys, something about wee guys in my life now as a parent, wee guys kind of get a bit more Glasgow and a bit more kind of glottal when they're talking to other guys or when they feel pressured or whatever to, you know, they get a wee bit more kind of working class and a wee bit more Scottish. And then you think that's everybody all the time. With every accent, do you know what I mean? I was on Radio 4 last week and I was really trilling away. Do you know what I mean? Partly because I need to make myself understood, partly because I need to deliver sentences in the idiom and meter expected by a Radio 4 audience and all that kind of stuff. So the problem with this is sometimes we don't know what register would be appropriate. Your sister-in-law, who if you get on with her in every other way, is telling you what register she would find appropriate.
Right.
So why don't you just use that? And what you feel a compulsive need to swear at this uncomfortable woman? That seems like not coming from a great place.
Do you think she's French?
Because she said uncouth, and it sounds like a kind of thing you might learn in English.
Uncouth? Uncouth would be
because he's in
female.
Paris.
Oh, he's a Yorkshireman living in France.
He's a Yorkshireman living in France, but he's got a sister-in-law. So this is somebody who's married. She's married his brother, or but potentially she is in a gay relationship with his sister.
Yes.
But she's certainly attached to one of his siblings. I mean, I would just not swear. What, are you not capable of not swearing?
It's something like, maybe, but you know, I'll swear sometimes on stage as a Scottish stand-up comedian, which I don't think is too controversial. But then sometimes I'll listen back and I'll go, that was too much swearing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
And I really think that swearing can be a bit of a garnish. Do you know what I mean? It can be a light, like those edamame beans that you just watched me eat.
You chose to have a spiced garnish.
There was 2 options, edamame-wise, at the Nippon Kitchen.
I went for the salted.
Yeah.
It was very much like a kind of fairy tale, 2 princes. And we chose differently.
The princess and the pea No,
But you seem to rush off to the toilet after your spiced edamame beans.
I had that and it's sudden. I'm dealing with some gastrointestinal issues, I think. And maybe spice. So there was two options. There was the classic salt, or you could have what they called 7 spice, but which is more accurately or more authentically named. I think it's called togarashi, and I opted for the togarashi, which is a kind of blend of chilies and orange peel and some sesame seeds and some seaweed. And it absolutely, a wee bit of it would have been incredible, but there was so much. And I think that swearing can be a bit like that. Hard to digest and ultimately ruining a meal.
But sometimes you can just stop yourself in the middle of your act and say, I'm sorry, that was like an incorrectly spiced edamame bean. And the audience will accept that and you can forge a new path.
But it feels natural when you're doing it. But I think if this guy started recording his conversations, surreptitiously recording his conversations with his sister-in-law and then listening back to them, that's what I would recommend doing, is becoming a kind of tradecraft spy.
Why are you doing something that someone who's told you they're not comfortable with it is still... I think he's written to us thinking we'll go, tell her to get to fuck.
Tell her to ram it up a shite pipe.
Yeah. And you're knocking on the wrong door, my friend.
Yeah, I mean...
we're all about civility and social codes on this pod.
Yeah.
And I just think, part of life is trying to work out what the other people want and expect from you. And sometimes, someone said to me, it's like, oh, something you said to me years ago offended me. And I wanted to say, and I did start out saying, I didn't mean to offend you. But then I couldn't really remember saying it, and I realised that was a defensive reaction. And who am I to say that you shouldn't have been offended by what I said? And then I said, well, I'm sorry, because... I don't think I would have meant to offend you, or I would have meant that in a bad way, but I actually can't remember it. So who knows what the intent was. Sometimes I think if people like people to be honest with them, and she has actually decided to be honest with you, and you're rejecting that. You're rejecting something that most of us look for.
I remember being at the Edinburgh Fringe when I was maybe 23. I was doing a two-hander with a lovely guy, privately educated dude, president of the Cambridge Footlights, real, that type of dude. And I was talking to him, and then my pal Joseph Goss, who is he was a stand-up comedian who grew up in Clydebank, he came along. I started talking to him. We would normally talk to him. And the posh dude was like, what the fuck happened there? You just completely changed. And I was like, oh, I wouldn't even notice. But that's just how communication works, isn't it? It's just how social class works. It's code switching. You just have to speak to different people differently. And I think you're right.
I think we've answered that.
Yeah.
Well and humanely.
Adam, instead of getting her to chill the fuck out, maybe
you stop being a cunt.
Yes. Okay, sorry Adam if that's not what you wanted, but we're not. We just want to make your life better, brother. Hi, just wondering what your opinion is on Scottish bands like Biffy Clyro, but also Scottish metal bands such as Ailstorm, who are doing great with Scottish pirate metal.
I once met a guy from Biffy Clyro in a pub in Dublin.
Oh yeah?
And it was lunchtime, and I was like, what are you doing here? And he was like,
What do you mean, what are you doing?
We came up and said hello,
right.
But it was some random, completely empty pub at noon in Dublin. He was like, oh, we're doing interviews in here. And he said, well, we had a wee chat. And then he went off, and he left his schedule, and their schedule was absolutely horrifically punishing. It was 8 a.m, fly out from London, go to this record store in Dublin, do this thing, do this meet and greet, do all these interviews, do this bit, go and record this thing for Irish Radio. And every kind of half hour of their day was kind of regimented into this thing. And I really felt sorry for these young guys, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I was like, you're on this treadmill. I mean, hopefully, I guess you work on that for a bit and you get off it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Well,
but
they
it's-
really had that moment where they done that song. It was like, if we collide, we come together, and if we don't, we'll always be apart. And that was like the big kind of ballad pop song. That was huge. And then the guy for fucking Pop Idol or X Factor or something covered a kind of more mum-friendly version of it. And I'm sure they got royalties for that and stuff. But they started as a kind of prog metal band, and then they became this more kind of... There's a lot of bands that are kind of outside their music, and then they get a bit of buzz and they go, we could parlay this into maybe some mainstream success.
Mhm.
And I think now they're probably hitting the schedule a bit less hard, but they just had that couple of years where they just like, let's put the pedal to the metal here. But yeah, you look at the schedules for bands like that and you're just like, that's unsustainable.
Yeah.
That's like running for president, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
That type of fucking schedule.
I'm going to be the president of Pomp Rock.
They're nice. I mean,
Who's the other band?
they're called Ailstorm.
Hailstorm. They sound like someone I have to find in a game. Do you know what I mean? Who'll tell me about how to get into the fields of the Nephilim.
Yeah.
Without the hand of glory.
It's kind of like that. It's pirate metal. So
Right.
they kind of dress up like pirates and do kind of sea shanty inspired power metal. So like Iron Maiden, but a bit more yo ho ho and a bottle of rum.
Well, I can't think of anything that sounds less inspiring than power metal sea shanties.
They've been going since I was a wee guy.
Remember there was that sea shanty thing? There was a thing on social media. I managed to never ever see one.
Me neither. It was awesome.
And but I was really like, fucking England, man.
Yeah, that was really like, COVID done a number on everybody. But that was one of those things where it was like, guys, I know we're in the house, but come on.
Didn't a family come out? So I've seen this family and they do kind of centrist calypsos and shanties and stuff like that.
You talking about the family?
Could be.
The family.
They're like a bunch of white middle class people singing a kind of topical calypso about Kamala Harris or something like that. And you can see the order in which the children are becoming disillusioned
Wow.
and like
Yeah.
the incipient horrors.
That's
that
not
await.
the family. I think it's a different family.
Right.
Family are just people who just, it's like a dad and two sons and they dance.
Oh, that's way worse.
Oh, yeah, it's really bad. It's not even like trying to be something, but they're massive. They could probably kill anybody that wanted to.
Murder.
Yeah.
No, I've only ever heard the Biffy Clyro, and it's literally because I physically ran into one.
Yeah, I seen them. I was a bit of a wank when I was younger, I suppose, and I was kind of against them just to the principle of like, you've fucking sold out.
There's a lot of people that like this band, not dicks and all that stuff.
Yeah, but that's not true. Everybody's just expressing himself, and they're great musicians, and they seem like nice guys. The lead singer's brother is like a really great artist. He's like a painter in Ayrshire. What's that guy's name again? Me and Roscoe used to do like shows in Ayrshire in this hotel, like function room to like 25 people, and his brother would come along. His brother loved Roscoe. He thought I was okay, but he was a big Roscoe fan. And yeah, he was a really sweet guy. Biffy Clyro, Hailstorm. Scottish bands like Biffy Clyro. I don't know. I think it's good to support. That's one thing I think it's easy with the homogenisation of pop music and stuff. It's easy to just listen to the same shite as everybody else. But it's good to keep things local and support local artists.
Enjoy a bit of Callum Easter. I know I've given him a shout out in the pod.
Is that the guy we saw?
Aye.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah.
I still feel the way I felt, which is that he shouldn't be called Callum Easter.
Why?
Well, his music was kind of like krautish.
There's a
fuck
kind of
pop.
there is a kind of accordion in there, isn't there? Like a kind of.
It was like
a lot of a kind of
it was
accordion.
like one
sound.
man, the guy having a breakdown, basically the Bill and Sebastian thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it was awesome. But it was like, I
had
was
also
like
that
Suicide.
thing like when he spoke in his actual voice. That thing some people have where they're so Edinburgh, like working class, they sound Mexican.
Hey,
That's right, man.
that's right, man. Hey. Federales, man, eh?
But
That's what coming.
he's got a lot of great
It's
records. Check him out.
No, he's shit hot, but it's just like, man, if you're doing like freaky outside, Callum East, I hear that, I'm like, oh, he'll be sitting with an acoustic guitar going, and my brother came over, and my mother was there, and you're like, oh, for fuck's sake, you know, call yourself Captain Fuck Disaster or something if you're going to make great music. It was like, well, thanks for coming out, guys. Eh?
That's your advice to this great artist. Change your name to Captain Fuck Disaster.
Call yourself something a bit jazzier, you know, bit showbiz.
He's a kind of polymath, isn't he? He's a
great.
kind of, he seems absorbed in his music and probably trivial concerns like what kind of name you think he should have probably don't even impinge on him.
I hear the name Callum and I think, oh, that'll be like a Scottish folk or an Irish folk singer. Do you know what I mean? Easter. I'm like, this will be religious.
I can play devil's advocate here, right?
Yeah, sure.
What does it matter what you think or what your expectations are? Because I'll tell you why. You know that thing that often gets me when there's reviews at the festival, and I've had a few friends stung by this, where people go, I expected this to be more like, and often it's something completely unconnected.
Yeah.
So my friend did one time going, I thought this would be more of a kind of like Dave Gormanish examination of, and there's nothing in the guy's name or title that suggested this, and he was quite rightly like, well,
that's not what I did.
It's not. I can't really control what your expectations are.
Well, yeah.
And Callum Easter, do you know what I mean? He can't think there's guys out there projecting all kinds of fantasies onto these two words.
But yes, but the label of, you know, labels matter, and when you're making stuff, like, try to think of an example, but like at the Fringe, it's like a lot of times when you're being reviewed, it kind of feels like, not too moan about getting reviews, because I'm sure it's very difficult to relate to, but a lot of times the arts criticism is like, how much does the finished product bear relation to the press release that I read before I went to see it? Like, how much does this fit the blurb? Even though the blurb was wrote before the show was wrote, and the press release was written months before the show was wrote. So you go, maybe it'll be about this, and then you write it, it's completely different, and people go, well, he didn't speak about the stuff he said he was going to speak about.
Well, okay, I accept on this, but let's look at it from another angle.
Yeah.
Should people be taking branding advice from a guy whose name doesn't fit on the fucking poster?
I maybe can serve as an example. I can serve as a warning.
That's how I've approached parenthood.
Yes, that's how I've approached the naming conventions of performers, because, I mean, Christopher McCathur-Boyd, I know that people are hearing that and going, this guy's a wank. Rightly or wrongly. But, like, definitely, like, I think people would be more interested in what he's doing if he put a jazzier name on it. That's what I'm saying. And I thought, because I wouldn't go see somebody called Callum Easter, because I'd be like, I don't want to see like a one man with an acoustic guitar. Then I went to see him. He was an incredible artist making really unusual art, and maybe that's what he likes. It's a misnomer, isn't it? That's what, you know, unintentionally wrong name, because somebody wanted to twist someone's nips a wee bit. Maybe my nips were twisted, Callum, huh? If you're listening. You Mexican.
Certainly isn't listening.
It might be. If the fucking, yeah, you never know. Someone go, they're talking about that podcast again. Again? How? How it came up again?
He'll be like, who's talking about me? And he'll hear your name and he'll be like, what? I'm not fucking listening to that.
Yeah, if you could give yourself a stage name.
It sort of sounds like a stage name. It sounds like a punk. I once got
Frankie Boyle?
Yeah, written in the list is Frankie Boyle, Boil, like a punk frontman. And I was like, yeah.
Frankie Boyle,
yeah.
Pop me if you dare. I'm a human pluke. It doesn't be bit, yeah. I would go, because in wrestling there was Shawn Michaels, and his real name was Michael Shawn Higginbottom. I changed it to Shawn Michaels for obvious reasons. Then there was Christopher Daniels, the Fallen Angel, and his real name was Daniel something Christopher. And I thought I could do that. I could be like Boyd MacArthur.
Oh, now you sound like you're fucking writing novels set in colonial Nigeria and stuff like that.
Boyd McCarthur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another fascinating social satire.
From Boyd McCarthur.
We have 4 different interlocking narratives of an art critic.
Maybe that's more who I should be.
An AI that's pretending to be Cormac McCarthy.
It's Boyd McCarthur. But I can't wait till
singer, Callum fucked his ass to.
Jesus.
And Frankie Boyle spelt B-O-I
with an I. I can't wait till I write kind of like fantasy novels when I'm older, and I can be CNM Boyd or CN Macarthur-Boyd. CN Macarthur-Boyd. That has a heft to it that Christopher doesn't have. You can see why J.K. Rowling chose to, get the initials instead of Joanne.
I think it's because she's been jokerified.
What?
It's like Joker. JKR. She's trying to hint at her
That
own
she's mentally the challenge.
jokerification.
She has been jokerified.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She predicted it.
She predicted the jokerification with her own name. Wow.
Did you see Joker 2?
No.
It's really,
Folie à deux?
yeah, it's pretty bad, but pretty funny, and a real slap in the face to everyone that liked the Joker, which I didn't. So I quite enjoyed it.
What happens in it?
The Joker's just in jail. He's sort of not really the Joker. He's just like a very mentally ill guy.
Mm-hmm.
He meets Lady Gaga, bizarrely.
Sure.
They sing, but like in really quiet ways. There's no dancing. They just kind of sing softly down a phone, like kind of old standards.
Mm-hmm.
And then the guy stabs him to death.
A guy stabs the Joker to death.
Aye.
He dies at the end of it?
Yeah. It's an absolute boot in the boys if you like the Joker.
I thought this was the start or something.
No. Oh, but then the guy cuts his own face up, so it's like that guy's maybe the Joker or something. But it's just like Blind Boy said when I was doing that podcast, it's just like you want to make a film about male loneliness, but for some reason it's got to be set in the Batman universe. Or, or the Penguin, they did an Italian crime thing, but it's, for some reason he's like Oswald Cobblepot.
Yeah.
And he's like, what's going on?
It's penguin shaped.
Did you see that other thing he did, Colin Farrell, where he's like Sugar?
He's like Sugar?
No, it's called Sugar.
Oh.
I think it's called Sugar.
What's that about?
It's like Colin Farrell's a private eye,
Mm.
right? And he's cutting about, and he's got a kind of agent. He's got a cool wee car, and he's a sort of Philip Marlowe type guy, and he's got a case of like someone's disappeared type, pretty standard Chandler stuff, but in the modern day.
Mm.
And he's got this kind of intermediary, and you realise she's kind of linked with a bunch of other kind of people, and they all kind of meet up, and it's almost like they're a kind of Illuminati gathering or something. There's like geographers, and there's all kinds of people in different walks of life. What's this? But that kind of disappears for a wee bit, and then he gets shot, Colin Farrell, and he has to get this special blood, and then he's in the bathroom. This is honestly, it's 5 episodes into a 6-episode thing.
And the special blood shows up.
He gets his special blood. He's got to inject this in himself, and he's like a wee blue alien. And all the people are kind of aliens that are kind of, embedded in our culture. And the murders have been done by one of the aliens who's just like gotten kind of Colonel Kurtz, and he's just like, it's his pal. He's been not a humanoid form, but he's like, I just love this shit, man. I'm just loving it. And it's like an absolutely wild ending.
Yeah. Is there hints that there's going to be blue guys showing up?
Something's amiss, that's all you know. Which is sort of as it should be.
And a mystery.
Yeah. And a mystery, do you know what I mean? They're always going, how do we keep the audience on board for this? You're supposed to be off board. They're supposed to just go, why is that guy there? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And then when you reveal it, they go, oh, all right. So you do go, all right, but you also go, what the fuck?
And wow, spoilers for Sugar. What's this on?
I guess Apple.
Feels like a hallucination.
I know, like it's genuinely.
That's what you want into it when you watch it. You want to go, did I fucking make it up?
It's filmed well.
Yeah.
It's edited well. It's got a nice flow to it. And the performances are good. And if you can handle that, there's a really big weird twist. Jump on board. Obviously, I've ruined it for you now. But
yeah. Did you know about it before you watched it, or did you just go, what the fuck?
Do you want to know the weird thing? I guessed.
What do you mean?
I guessed it was going to be an alien. I was just like, this is so fucked, and there's no other explanation for
Must
the
be.
Illuminati people that they
Right.
have to be aliens.
Right. Oh. Well, there you go. Just wondering what your opinion is on Scottish bands like Baby Clyro and pirate metal. Pirate metal is quite popular because like you'll go to a metal festival and heavy metal. It's one of these things where all the big acts like they just had Ozzy Osbourne's last gig and the lineup was like Metallica, Mastodon, Megadeth, Anthrax, all these bands that were big in the 80s and 90s, which is quite a long time ago now. It's like 40 years ago. And they were 20 when they started, so these guys are all 60 now. And there's not a lot of like new stuff, so bands break up or something. So you put in a band like Ailstorm or something, and it's just like a fun thing. You go, oh yeah, I seen those pirate guys at that festival. It's just something different. But
I hope they steal other people's amps and whatnot. Do you know what I mean? They stop fucking Megadeth's van and steal all their shit and whatnot.
you want to be actual pirates?
Yeah.
It'd be funny if they got, because Metallica got really pissy in the noughties about people pirating their music, but you couldn't really get upset about people pirating your music if you were.
They've painted themselves into a corner.
Yeah,
There,
I think so.
The anti-piracy pirate band. A frowning skull and crossbones.
Yeah. Maybe the self-hating.
Aren't we all?
Yeah.
Well, that's that dealt with.
Yeah. What's your opinion on Scottish bands? We done a musical mailbag, and it was good. That's another good one. There you go.
I don't know anything about Scottish bands or bands, except as I've said before, kind of, I guess, homosexual-oriented brain rot.
Yeah. I was at the stand last night, and someone was on stage talking about music, and I think they were playing The Associates.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
As a kind of exploration of Scottish music and like sexuality and stuff. It was pretty great.
And gender identity, I guess. I guess, like, if he was
that was the theme, yeah.
Nowadays, he might have found things more comfortable. He might have found a niche he could have found himself in. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sad.
Yeah. What, did he kill himself?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I don't know that. Well, there you go. That's my opinion on Scottish bands. Hi guys, loving the pod as always. Thank you so much. Quick question for Christopher that I know he can't answer, but will no doubt ponder over anyways. With the Superman movie fast approaching and me making the questionable choice to rewatch The Flash, it's still shite. I'm left wondering, brace yourself Susie, I'm sorry in advance, Susie is not here, so you're fine. If Supergirl can destroy a statue by spitting at it, is that something that happens?
I don't know, but I'm going to take it.
Did you see The Flash?
No.
No, I didn't see it. Apparently there was a whole bit where it's a multiverse thing and Nicolas Cage is Superman's in it and stuff.
Do you know what I thought about it? It was like, there's a kind of app that Ramesh Ranganathan showed me one time. It's like where people put up their kind of demos. So it's almost like mixtape type stuff, but they put up early versions of tracks and stuff like that in hip hop. It's really, really good. And you can always find stuff on there. And I was sort of going, oh, how come like the stuff we actually hear is so shit? And he's like, well, that's because it's before industry, people get to it and tone it down and market it and give shit notes. And so this is the kind of uncut gems kind of thing. And I think Grant Morrison and Ezra Miller maybe wrote a script together for The Flash that was supposed to be brilliant. That was a big time travel thing.
Right.
And then I think almost as a reaction, they made that Flash as mundane as possible. Right. Because I think almost seeing a good thing kind of terrifies everyone so much that they go, oh, let's just get through this. Yeah. So I never actually went to watch that one.
My girlfriend's never seen an MCU thing last night, and I was on the phone. I was like, please, if any, she was asking me about superheroes and stuff, and I can talk for Scotland about, this topic, but like, I'm like a shameful, regretful comics fan because it's became so dominant in culture, and I don't want to go see superhero films anymore. I'm kind of done with them. I think a lot of people feel like that maybe. But she was like, so who's Captain America? And I was like, oh, he was like who's Superman? I was explaining like where they came from, and one of them was propaganda, and one of them was by Jewish creatives about talking about the American immigrant experience and stuff, the American dream. So yeah, but I was just like, please, if this is giving you the ick, please stop asking me about comic book stuff, because I will speak at an expert level about it, but I don't want to.
We think we're at an expert level until you meet a fucking real geek.
Oh, sure. But they've wasted their life.
Yeah.
I've wasted my life, but they've really wasted their life.
Did you see the second Wonder Woman film? I think that's one of the worst things ever made.
I didn't see
It's
it.
like...
What was it called?
Her and Chris Pratt. Cutting about it, man.
In the 80s, 1980.
Yeah.
It wasn't called 1984, was it?
It was in the 80s, wasn't
Yeah.
it? And it was just... I mean, fuck me. But then those movies do seem to reach a nadir every so often. Like, so the new Fantastic Four one looks like AI Wes Anderson.
I think it'll be good.
What the fuck are you talking about? It'll be good.
It's got the guy for the bed. It's got
They don't get any of the...
Pascal.
But also, it's just not made by the people who care
Yeah.
about those things. The people who care about those things are writing great comics.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And they're never allowed near the fucking movie scripts.
There was a screenshot of it, and it was the Human Torch putting the fingers up behind Mr. Fantastic's head as a kind of picture, and then an artist went, "This is a frame for my comic book," and he posted it. And it was exactly the same, and they do that a lot.
Oh yeah, they get. Oh, absolutely.
You know.
They use it as a kind of storyboard, and they don't pay anybody.
Yeah, it's disgraceful.
It's a bit like you went to a Michelin star restaurant, right? And they've got some wonderful, coq au vin or something like that, right? And you go, so that's the comic book version, that's Grant Morrison or Alan Moore or fucking whoever, right? And then you go, how do I make that as a wee sachet of sauce that you could have in a McDonald's? And that's what the fucking movie version is.
Sure. But the sachets are the dominant cultural trend. Everybody's eating sachets.
And
Children are eating
nobody's going to a
sachets.
restaurant, yeah.
Their mums and dads are eating sachets. The restaurant industry's on its knees. People are just ripping open wee plastic sachets and suck. And they're naked when they do it for some reason, and they're just publicly, flaccidly sucking on these little vinaigrette sachets. And it's like, hey, let's get the restaurants back open.
Nobody cares.
But nobody wants to eat at a restaurant. Everybody wants to humiliate themselves, including me. Anyway, if Supergirl can destroy a statue by spitting at it, why doesn't Superman's cum fire Lois Lane's naked body into next door's living room at high speed? Do you think James Gunn will address this in this new movie? Anyways, keep at the cracking job, Stevie. P.S. Related note, with Fantastic Four coming out soon after, do you think Ben Grimm's spunk is tiny rocks or mud?
A lot going on in this guy, or not enough going on in this guy's imagination. Really, do you know what I mean?
Hey, pot calling the kettle black. A lot of cum chat there, brother.
I think Superman has ultimate control.
Aye.
That's the thing. He controls his laser vision because he could probably wipe out half the planet, cut the fucking earth in half with his fucking
In twain.
heat vision, right? And his whole thing is
And he could see through the planet.
control, so he doesn't need to fucking come inside Lois Lane. If that's even how Kryptonians have sex.
And if you had that level, yeah, it's true. It could be it's more like a fish or something. The way fish kind of just fart eggs onto the seabed and then the fish jack off.
I think that's too much of a leap. That would be... That would be, what's he called? The fucking merman guy that's always trying to
Aquaman.
pump... No, not Aquaman.
Namor.
Namor, the guy who's always trying to pump the Invisible Girl.
That was it. Listen, I know I just said I'm fed up with these sachet films, but I liked in Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, when Namor was like retconned to be an Aztec, and because he had conquistadors colonializing them, his name was Namor, as in nae more, nae love.
He could be a Scottish guy, nae more.
Nae more, please. I can't take any more conquistadors. Let's get Callum Easter in as a kind of Mexican East Coaster.
I hated the Black Panther thing just because they literally had to get the CIA in as the good guys.
Yeah,
Let's get a good CIA guy in. Fuck off. What kind of fucking Black Panther is you? The fucking very people that assassinated the fucking Black Panthers.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Well, it was really the FBI. But the point still stands.
Uh-huh.
I think also Reed Richards killed his wife. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, she's invisible.
She's not here. I can't see her.
Don't worry, she's about. Fuck you.
Why do you think he's always turning evil and stuff? Is it because he's so smart, or is it because there's something about being flexible, not really having a spine?
It's because he's called himself Mr. Fantastic.
It's a red flag.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Maybe that's why Callum Easter is uncomfortable calling himself the Fantastic Fucker or whatever I said he's called himself.
But here's the thing with Mr. Fantastic, it's actually way worse than people think. So a lot of people say that, they go, oh, he calls himself Mr. Fantastic, right? But he's got, canonically, 18 PhDs, doesn't refer to himself as Dr. Fantastic,
Dr. Fantastic
or Dr. Richards. He's going to just call me Mr. Fantastic. So the combination of the two things is a unique level of fucking ego. You know, whereas Dr. Doom has no postgraduate qualification and yet has awarded himself that honorific.
I've never noticed that.
But certainly Namor would spunk on eggs.
Yeah.
But if he's after Sue Storm, maybe they make it work.
It could be a cock thing. We don't know.
We don't know.
I mean, it literally is a cock
Maybe
thing.
Reed Richards is into it.
Yeah. Do you think Ben Grimm spunk is tiny rocks or mud? I don't know.
Dust.
Sand.
Sand,
Yeah, like when you go to a building
sand.
site. I don't know, for some reason, the St. Enoch Centre, when I was a teenager, the stairs were always covered in sand. And I'm like, where's this sand coming from? Nearby construction, surely. But the sand isn't blowing in off the Clyde. Do you know what I mean?
You think Ben Grimm was
I think Ben Grimm was
jacking off in
the
St.
back stairs of the
like
St. Enoch
Baskin
Centre.
Robbins.
Yeah, why not? Millie's cookies. We don't know that's not what the crumb on a Millie's cookie is. It's a Rockman's.
You think it might have kind of sweet? Well, why not?
They're saying it's Biscoff. I'm saying it's Ben Grimm's Rocky
He's
cum.
bent over, fucking rattling his fucking
Blind girlfriend.
his fucking, what do you call it? Like a cairn. His penis would be.
Funereal cairn. So is that what cunts used to do before gravestones? Was just pile rocks on top of where someone died?
Well, it's all kinds of different practices.
Right.
So there would have been a thing of cairn burial, but it would have been reserved for royals.
Oh, I
And
see.
it's mostly in kind of Western European societies.
Right.
See, it's just like can be like Marvel, and then suddenly anthropology.
Here's the thing with the MCU. That's the way I go see it. I might go see the Fantastic Four because I find that at their best when they're trying to make a different type of film. So I liked the first Spider-Man film because it was like we're trying to make Ferris Bueller by Spider-Man. Oh, and I liked like Captain America 2 or 3, I think, when it was like we're trying to make like All the President's Men, but it's Captain America. It's like a kind of spy thriller. So I think they're always better when they're kind of riffing on a genre, or when the first Ant-Man was like a heist film.
You've just absolutely drunk the fucking corporate Kool-Aid, man. You think the kind of corporate intent is what informs these fucking films. This first Spider-Man film is good because it's Sam fucking Raimi.
No, I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about the first of the Homecoming, I think it's called.
You like that?
Yeah, I like that a wee bit, yeah. I cried at that film. I cried at that film.
The ones with...
Wee guy, Tom Holland.
What?
The first one was good.
The fuck you
With the vulture?
Come on, man.
I liked it.
Get a grip.
No, I'm trying. I'm trying to get a grip. Or myself.
I don't even know how to fucking respond to that. I mean, that's like...
The bit where he goes to his girlfriend's house and her dad is the vulture is class.
I feel like, you know, we're both in prison, like Count of Monte Cristo or something.
We're not in prison.
And the guard's fucking tormenting us and he's pushing through, instead of our food, he's pushing through bowls of shit. And you're going like, you're not having yours? I like it. I like it on a Wednesday.
It's better when it's kind of wetter, isn't it? It's better when it's kind of... I don't like it when it's all chunky. I like it when it's just smooth.
I just don't know how to deal with it, can you? There are lots of great comics. If you've not read comics but you like superheroes on screen and you could bear to fucking open a book, the Batman and Robin comic sequence that Grant Morrison did is really good. There's really good crime comics if you like crime novels and all that kind of stuff.
You got me that good All-Star Superman.
Oh yeah, All-Star Superman is Frank Whiteley, Grant Morrison. There's Ed Brubaker does these comics. Criminal, there's like a massive selection of them, but also all the other Ed Brubaker, Phillips comics are really good. Yeah. What else?
It's just so, I think, dense and impenetrable for a lot of people to get into comic books, because like you go try and buy individual copies and you're like, oh, this is issue 5 of 7 of the fucking Clone War conspiracy and Spider-Man. You're like, Jesus, can you go back and buy the early ones? Not really. Oh, I've missed it. Maybe I'll just wait for the next one. You don't know what the fuck's going on. You know, you watch a film and it's made for baby-brained morons and you're like, wow.
Yeah, but I mean, they all are collected and stuff. So if you go for a good run, so it's like Garth Ennis did a run, Punisher Max, and then and Punisher as well, and then his run. So there's a few books, maybe like 6 books of that, and then his run is followed up by a couple of books. A guy called Jason Aaron, which is the Punisher versus Bullseye. And if you read all of that and you were at all into kind of superhero movies and any of that kind of stuff, I guarantee you would enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just need somebody with a bit of taste to point in the right direction.
If you like zombies, I really liked, what was that, Crossed, where they have these kind of like smarter, kind of Freudian zombies.
Oh.
Who,
what was Freudian about them?
Well, they've gone into a kind of mad fuck frenzy. That's what the zombie thing does to you, and you're like, I'll fuck your mother, I'll fucking... Oh. And they're all kind of like, they're often expressing Freudian fantasies. They want to fuck people, but they're quite clever, and they work out they can spunk on bullets and shoot at people in the distance and infect them. They're not strictly zombies.
Is this like a Me Too era thing?
No, it's pre that. And so there's a whole bunch of those by Garth Ennis. Then other people start writing them. A great comic book writer who I'd really recommend everything he does, David Lapham. Yeah. And David Lapham wrote this thing called Stray Bullets, which is a classic kind of indie comic. But has done runs on Deadpool, has done runs on all kinds of stuff. He did a run on Cross, that's really good. And then Alan Moore eventually did Cross, and it's called like 100 Cross plus 100 or something like that, and it's set 100 years in the future.
Oh yeah.
Which I've told you the plot of before, and I don't want to spoil it for people, but that's really good.
I think you spoiled it last time and people were like, that sounds amazing.
Alright, yeah, I mean, that's really, and also you wouldn't need to read the original comics to read that one.
Well, that's it. It's a bit like we were talking about Coronation Street the other day, because we know different people who are... Well, I was in Manchester and an actor in it was on an unsuccessful date that was going pretty poorly for him. And it was amazing to be so incredible to be a fly in the wall in a pub in Manchester, and a Coronation Street actor's having probably one of the worst days of their life. You're like, wow, I'm really having a Manchester experience. It's like if Johnny Marr came in and sat beside me or something.
This is like one of those yellow tabloids and stuff where people have to identify who was he talking about?
We're the new pop bitch. Exclusively for rumours that we are eavesdropping on in a kind of quiet pub. And what was I talking about? Hard to say. But like in Coronation Street, it kind of has to be... They're a bit like, get the same problem as comic books, where it's like, it's been going on. It's any kind of serialised entertainment. The history is so long and convoluted and dense, and you need to appeal to people who've been watching it since the 70s and to people who are maybe watching it for the first time, and that's impossible while making something that's quite good.
I taught that very point you've just made in a module in a high school in the year 1995, my friend.
Really?
Yep.
What course was that?
It was like
Media?
yeah, but it was just part of an English. It was part of a module of an English course.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is why I think a lot of times in comic books it's better to it's like the Joker film where it's like, this isn't part of a universe. This is just like this one thing that happened. Do you know what I mean? Watchmen or something. I know they tried to extend Watchmen with the TV show and the other comic books and stuff, but I'm like, oh, Superman's here as well. And you're like, okay, I don't think he is. But the first Watchmen book's just, as a thing on its own, is just beautiful. Do you know what I mean? To take it out of the serialized thing, it was,
My one point about it would be
about Watchmen.
Well, Alan Moore gets annoyed, doesn't he? Well, not annoyed, but he sort of goes, if people would come up to him and go, I love Ross Church, and Ross Church is a fascist, and in the book is not supposed to be admired, really, or an anti-hero, and people come up to him and go, oh, do you know who I really identify with? And
That smelly.
Right. And my point would be, you can't make a guy with a Ross Church mask and complain about people projecting their feelings on him.
Yeah, that's a good point. Also, don't make the unlikable characters stand up to the evil guy at the end and never back down from the mass murder committed by us.
That's part of the point. That all kind of feeds into the thing of, the horror of liberalism.
It even drives fascists insane. Yeah. Wow.
We see nowadays the horror of liberalism, don't we? Of like kind of the supposed world order that's just sitting and watching people in Gaza die, and they're just sort of like, let's wait for this to be over so that we can start moral grandstanding about pop videos and all the stuff that we used to get a thrill out of.
It's just crazy to be like, yeah, we're going to prescribe a musical act for saying something, or we're going to go to Bob Dylan and try and get him taken off of stuff because he said a chant at a gig, and it's like, aye, but you build the bombs that get dropped, so you are killing people, and he's saying not that he wants to kill people, but just that they should die.
Look, the chances of the people at Glastonbury being able to make any kind of dent in the IDF is extremely, extremely small.
It's limited.
Yeah.
And then, you broadcast it on BBC, but still those people, you can't...
Nobody's watching that on iPlayer and then booking their ticket for...
Yeah, I mean, it's fucked. It's absolutely fucked.
You know what's weird to me is that just idea that Israel's a civilian army. So that's just like your dentist is off.
Well, that's how
gunning
it's so
people
insidious.
down at a fucking aid checkpoint, and then he's back the next week. You been up to anything, Barry? I killed a few people looking for flour.
Well, that's how they... I mean, that's why it's the... Well, they do that in a few countries, don't they? They do national... Like Singapore has it, where you need to join the army.
National service.
National service. And it gives you a sense of national pride.
Won't be long before they start floating that here as well.
Yeah.
Can get fucked.
We've both aged out of it, I believe.
We've both served our nation, I think, is the phrase you're looking for. Done fucking 80 months on this pod. For fuck all money. Just purely to broaden the horizons.
Yeah. I've put YouTube specials up on YouTube. I put stand-up specials up on YouTube. That's my national service. I gave that gift to the country. Check out my special on YouTube. It's called Scary Times.
I've offered a mild and erratic satire of the society that I live in. It's my service to it.
What more can you do? Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely fucked. But I think when you have that national service in a country that is then committing a genocide, it's like, well, everybody's compromised then. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, not everybody, but it's just that you've got huge numbers of people who are for it. Do you know what I mean? There's an interesting poll out the other day, which was like, in Britain, we provide parts for fighter planes and bombers that have been used in
Glasgow,
in Gaza. Yeah, and part of that's Railbit Systems, Glasgow, and all that kind of stuff. And 60-something%, maybe 67% of people or something are opposed to that in Britain, but there's a 16% of people oppose an arms embargo for that. And you're like, fuck, who are those 16% of people? Because that's such an extreme thing. Where you go, they've got those people in a prison camp. They're now asking them to concentrate into a smaller prison camp. They gun them down when they try to get flour. And you're like, I certainly wouldn't want to see any interruption to that going on. I mean, that's an incredibly bloody mindset.
Yeah. There's a lot of strange people out there.
Yeah.
Is that in Scotland? Is that in the UK?
That's UK.
I can believe that.
Mm.
You definitely go out and meet these people, and they're like, well, that's jolly good the way we do things here.
Yeah. And it's not even a not thinking about thing. That's the, I'm for this.
I'm for it. We need to sell guns. That's the business.
There's also that thing, isn't there, where they go, oh, this is investment in the economy. They almost present it as a kind of Keynesianism, a kind of military economy thing. There's no jobs in arms. It's really, really not labour intense. It's the least labour intense industry that there is outside of building data centres or something, which we're also doing. And nobody's getting anything out of it. There was some figure when they the recent thing where they went, we're going to spend $100 billion on nuclear bomber planes, where the BBC article didn't mention a cost. So on the BBC website, no cost was given. We're just getting these planes, right? And they didn't initially mention that America would essentially own the warheads, and then they did mention it. But it gave a figure of this could help in the creation, or some really vague phrase, of up to 20,000 jobs, or support 20,000 jobs. And what they mean is, there's sort of sweet shops and newsagents and shit around Helpit systems and around fucking RAF bases and stuff like that. And maybe, I guess, the fact that there's slightly more people working there would have a knock-on effect, and maybe they'll go to Scarborough on a fucking day trip from there. And that's literally where that figure comes from. And if you had the actual jobs creation figure, I mean, it would be in the low hundreds.
Minuscule. But some people do just hate brown people.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, just kill them. We should sell more. We should send more weapons there. We should kill more of them, because the Crusades never ended in my head.
The Crusades was about. It's really Jesus' fault.
Oh,
so
isn't everything?
Yeah. Jesus leaves and he goes, I'll be back, essentially. They think...
Terminator style.
Yeah, they think, but basically the apostles think this is just a short thing. He's coming back. And the whole thrust of the early church is we've got to prepare for the big man coming back. And when it gets to the millennium, he's been gone for 1,000 years, and they're like, well, this must be it. And how do we bring on the old eschaton? Well, maybe we go and we reconquer the Holy Land. Like, what's up?
Right.
And that was kind of part of what was behind it.
And then this is that again. Was Terminator supposed to be Jesus? Why was it called Judgment Day, if not?
Because he was like, lots of people judge people, not necessarily. Well, Judgment Day is like in Revelation.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, I guess it is like what was foretold in the Bible could actually come to pass, but not in a sense that the Bible would have really envisaged with robots from the future. But yeah, it would be Judgment Day.
Yeah.
Except Judgment Day, remember the thing of Christianity is like become obscured now, but Christians believed that there would be a day of judgment. It wasn't that you were going to die and go to heaven, right? It was that you're going to die, go into your grave or whatever, your stone cairn, and then there would be a judgment day when the dead arose.
Yeah.
And fucking Jesus comes down and goes, you, not you, like football at school.
Good guy, wank.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Do you think Ben Grimm's spunk is tiny rocks or mud? I think it's sand, like you said. Yeah. Or maybe someone done a kind of, do you remember the great books they used to have in schools? And it was like, they cut a boat in half and you could just see the inside of a boat. What was that called? Bisecting a boat. diorama or something like that. I think someone done that of like, this is what's going on in Ben Grimm's body. Horrifying what he is.
Ben Grimm had a kind of catchphrase tendency though, didn't he? So maybe he's like, it's coming time. Or when you blow him, he's like, it's slobbering time.
It's horrible.
Baby, it's slobbering time.
Maybe though that's for fighting. He has that level of distance, but he's
A tender lover.
such a tender.
She's like,
Or so consumed by lust that he can't catch it. He just has to go.
She's like, do the catchphrase, Ben. I can't, baby.
He goes soft. The one part of his body that can go soft. His cock.
Imagine you couldn't get it up as fucking Ben Grimm. That would be horrifying.
Every other inch of your body is rock hard, and your penis is a flaccid bagworm.
It's just like a potter's wheel gone wrong. Wet clay. There's a good Warren Ellis planetary comic with an evil Fantastic Four called The Four, and they have to kind of basically bump off the Fantastic Four because they're all absolute cunts. And then Ben Grimm is this like kind of unkillable super soldier for the Four, and they lure him on to the ship of dead Galactus. So Galactus has died in this universe, and they go in there and he's like just lying dead in his giant ship. But because he's so vast and he's sucked up so much life, all this life has grown on his dead body.
like
so
mold.
there's like tribes of people running about, and there's like fucking animals and stuff all kind of running up his kind of decaying corpse.
Yeah.
And they managed to hit this ship that Ben Grimm is on while he's on it and just knock it into deep space, and he's fucked and he can never get back. It's really good. But he's depicted in it as having all his internal organs on the outside. So he's all made of rock, but he's got like kind of kidney and stuff like that. It's really grim.
You're really asking to be punched in your external kidney. I'd seen like an evil version of Fantastic Four where like Ben Grimm was turned into a wall of Reed Richards' castle. He was like part of he just had to stand there, like his face was huge and stuff. I don't know.
But well, here's the thing. What if Doctor Doom and Reed Richards started a fake beef, like a kind of pair of wrestlers?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we're going to keep this going, and between us, we managed to. Therefore, Reed Richards managed to get all the US defence funding that he needs for his projects.
The playing off America and Latveria.
Meanwhile, Doctor Doom's able to bleed Latveria dry, even though cunts are basically riding about in horses and carts, and he's got robot versions of himself and that.
I'm sorry, I think that Spider-Man film's quite good, where he has the vultures in it. Have you not seen it?
Michael Keaton, have I not? I have seen it. That's the problem. I have seen it.
The bit where he's at the traffic light and he realises who Spider-Man is after Spider-Man's realised who he is, and his face just turns green with the traffic light. I was like, that's a good bit of business. He turned his face green. Very clever.
I would say the CoPro, they got CoPro money and went, let's put Spider-Man in Venice.
That was shite.
Let's
that one
go
was
to one
fucking
place where
shite.
there's no tall buildings and really see him scuttling about like he's lost on the bottom of a bath. Come on.
It was great to see Mysterio on the big screen. I'm a Mysterio head. I like the old fishbowl,
I like Mysterio, but that character where he was just a huckster, I didn't particularly enjoy it. I didn't think it was good. He's actually, it's just read the comics, people. There's hundreds of versions of all this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Quentin Beck. My favourite wrestler, Rey Mysterio, dressed up as Mysterio once for a laugh. That was quite good. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, Stevie.
Read indie comics as well. Read people who don't make movies. What did I read recently? Read Zoe Thorogood's comic about dealing with sight loss. That was really good.
And just go to fucking Forbidden Planet and have a look about, see if anything takes your interest. You will see me there occasionally buying some Dungeons and Dragons dice for various podcast side projects. I just have to, when I was a wee guy, I was a big wrestling figure guy. I had a big wrestling figure collection. And I find it very difficult to, I guess it's like smoking. I would never smoke. But when someone's smoking a cigarette, I'll stand next to them and I'll breathe deep. I'm not going to smoke, but I miss the smell sometimes, even though the smell's disgusting.
This sounds like someone creating an elaborate reason for having been near some children.
I wasn't smelling the children. I was smelling the plastic of the figures.
Your Honour.
I just love to go to the wrestling figure aisle and just go, is that what they're doing these days? Oh, more points of articulation than there used to be.
Is there a Christian cage?
Of course.
Oh, yeah?
There's been, I would say, probably upwards of 60 different Christian Cage action figures over the last 40 years. The guy has been at it for a long time.
Detachable turtleneck.
He will have the turtleneck now, yeah, on action figures for AEW. Yeah, maybe, well, listen, Santa's listening, Frankie. Maybe for the Christmas episode. If indeed Here Comes the Guillotine isn't completely beheaded.
Christmas.
That's like when a limping dog comes into the house and you're like, well, what are we going to get him for Christmas? I don't know.
Not a problem.
Nah. That's for the farm.
Yeah.
The farm will figure that out.
Yeah.
The nice couple on the farm.
Get him a shovel.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for another episode of Here Comes the Guillotine with Macarthur-Boyd and Frankie Boyle and Susie McCabe, who's not here.
Who were you thanking? Us?
I'm thanking the listener for checking us out and spending time with us. Come and see my Fringe show if
Okay, go and
August
see
isn't over.
Christopher's Fringe show and
Susie's Fringe show also, yes. Go and see Frankie's Fringe show.
Nothing.
No plans at all.
No.
Have you got any stand-up gigs in the diary?
I'm doing some wee kind of festivals and things, and then a lot of nothing.
Hell yes. Right, thanks.
Cheers.